standing by.
This is In the Know for Friday, June 20, the 171st day of 2025. There are 194 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We'll have the water cooler question. It'll be your chance to win and prove you're the smartest person around the water cooler and be a big winner. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beige. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
Who you got over there?
Mr. Brady. Say good morning.
Brady James is making his In the Know debut.
He is.
It appears, is he already watching himself on the iPad? Probably. It also occurs to me that Brady doesn't have play on music, so I guess he's going to have to come up with something appropriate. So grandson spending the day with us, and he's having, is this brunch? Because he's having crackers, but he's having some type of snack.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much to keep him from pressing all the buttons in the studio?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good activity. That's if you keep him busy eating something, he's less likely to, turn the amplifiers up loud or power down the studio or the various things that a grandchild of mine would be prone to do.
That's right.
Fair to say?
Yes.
He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley at the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
Well, I'm going to be tired this time tomorrow. I told you yesterday we could have a guest today. I bet you never imagined who it would be, did you?
No, I did. To be honest, I don't know that I really put much thought into it.
Ouch. That hurts my feelings a whole lot.
I guess.
Here,
the pro is when you do have a guest, it usually means that it means a little bit more work on my side over here, but it also means I get to sit behind the scenes for a little bit.
Sam, not today.
Not today. All the work's on this side involving. This
Well, I was very curious because obviously, in the couple of minutes leading up to the show, I can see some of the stuff going on in the studio, and I thought, I was like, well, Gertie's being like, they don't usually watch Gertie like that, and then right as we started the show, I saw a small child walk over and hand you something right at the beginning, and like a true professional, you kept it rolling.
He handed it to me, and I held it for a moment and was prepared to hand it back to him. So he'll have his commentary on the items of the show today. So just be prepared, and if he doesn't like something, he'll probably let us know, like right now. So anyway, he's having a little daycare issue, so it means mom and dad got to work. So that means Grandma and Granddad get to, I guess. Do our work while
that's right.
It works. Working with kids is sometimes.
We spent yesterday afternoon together, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Doing it all good. Very
all
good.
day today.
Today is the beginning of summer. Summer begins later today. We'll talk more about it when we get into segment B. The first full day is tomorrow. It may surprise you to learn that it's not the country's favorite season. 40% of states pick spring as their favorite season. In the Midwest, the West, and the South, spring gives you the best of both worlds, and I have decided that as far as which season I enjoy the most, it's spring, because it comes after the winter, and everything gets reborn and blooms and blossoms, and in just a matter of weeks, the trees leaf out, and so now we get the hot summer, and the weather is arriving right on cue. Before we talk about the weather, I want to give you a weather hack. So it's kind of like a good news, bad news. I'm going to give you a way to avoid, help with the heat, as I tell you that it's going to get warmer and hotter. So if you were going to have a fan in your home, you would probably point it at yourself. But that is not the proper way to do it. The proper way to do it is point it out a window. If you're going to open a window, point the fan out the window, and it creates more of a cross breeze and makes a breeze in your home. If you have two fans, open one window and put one pointing in the house, and then put the other fan across the house, and it creates cross breeze, and you will enjoy it a lot more. The warm temperatures are on the way. We'll get warmer today, and we will kind of ramp up into the weekend and into next week. We are going to see highs in the 90s with heat index values near or above 100, likely Sunday through next week, as our first heat wave of 2025 takes hold. So today we will top out at 89 with some humidity. Tonight mostly clear, an overnight low of 72. Then the haze, the hot, and the humidity comes tomorrow. We get 94 for tomorrow, cooling off to 74 or so overnight. And then you see 95s, mid-90s all the way until next Saturday with that humidity. So just be prepared for the weather. Down in Mexico, the Hurricane Eric has sort of turned into a rainmaker after hitting Mexico's Pacific coast as a strong hurricane. It did leave one dead, but well, see, interesting show today. I get handed toys during the show while I'm.
That's an interesting toy.
Trying to give you. It is an interesting toy. I don't think I've seen this one. This must be a Vandalay Industries find, but it's a good one. Eric was once a Category 4 hurricane, but it's dropped like 16 inches of rain on southern Mexico, and so it is hurricane season. That's our fifth named storm of the season because that's the E storm, and we will move next to F. President Trump said yesterday that he is waiting a couple of weeks. He's going to make a decision on Iran within 2 weeks. I think he's buying some time for them to decide to dismantle their nuclear operation, their fuel enrichment. To F. And if they President do that, there won't be any need for us to get further involved. I think he's also giving additional time for a redeployment or a readjustment of some of our naval fleets that are reporting to the area to be in a position to defend American assets, defend Israel as that continues on. So we will continue to watch that. A 53-year-old Leah Beasley of Caneyville was recently indicted by an Ohio County grand jury for theft by unlawful taking over $10,000 but less than $1 million and knowingly exploiting an adult over $300. She was arrested by the Kentucky State Police on the strength of an indictment warrant on Wednesday afternoon. She was initially lodged in the Grayson County Detention Center but was transferred yesterday to the Ohio County Detention Center where she's being held on a $125,000 bond. A driver avoided serious injury after a Corvette left Lilac Road. The Litchfield Fire and Litchfield Police Departments, along with EMS, responded to the 200 block of Lilac Road last evening about 7:35. An '08 Corvette driven by a Grayson County man was traveling south on Lilac Road when he lost control and nearly left the south lane of the roadway before traveling across both lanes and exiting the road. Jumped a concrete drainage channel, entered a yard where the hit a small tree, made a right turn, and struck the drainage channel. The driver was shaken up but refused treatment and transport at the scene. Cougar basketball continues their summer tour today. I think they're a week away from what will be the KHSAA mandatory dead period, but they do have a couple of games today.
Well, this is it for them. The dead period begins Wednesday. So, but this is it for basketball. So the boys are at Lexington today. So they're going to be playing Marion County and Rockcastle County, and then tomorrow we'll play J-Town, and then they'll play Indian Hill of Cincinnati. So I'll have some updates of those on the old Twitter sphere. And then the Lady Cougars are back down at Western. They'll play Montgomery County and Spring Valley, which I think is Tennessee. Is that not?
That sounds right. That sounds like a Tennessee name.
We'll just do that, and we'll say it is Tennessee. I think that's right for Spring Valley. So they'll be back down there today, and that's the final spring or summer games that the Lady Cougars have scheduled.
So the current adage is if you know, you know. So likely you do know if you need to know. But I do think it would be helpful if we take a moment and talk about an event that we're having on Tuesday. It is for all of the hometown hangout MVPs throughout our previous season. So we are gathering on the last day of what is officially the sports season. That mandatory dead period of 2 weeks sort of defines the old school year from the new school year athletically and officially. And so we are hosting all of the MVPs that were recognized throughout our football, basketball, spring sports, softball, baseball, etc., and gathering with them at Hometown Hangout on Tuesday evening, where they and some guests of theirs. But if it's the first that you're hearing of it and you were one of those people or you have a child who is one of those people, then we have some information for you on how to participate. But also special opportunity to kind of look back at the year in Cougar sports, Sam?
Yes, Stephen, Jake, and myself are going to be doing some semblance of a recap show. I think Coach Johnston is going to join us, and I'm hoping that Coach Jones, maybe a couple other coaches, will come up and join us. We'll talk a little bit about the season as a whole and the upcoming seasons, too, because those are coming really quick for both, and obviously some high expectations for especially the boys basketball team. You know, some cool stuff on the horizon for them. But yeah, if you were an MVP this year, you are invited. Your family is invited, and so on. And we'd like to recognize you. And if you need to know what you get, we can't, because of some murky rules around NIL and so on. We can't describe some things as to what you're getting. But if you can ask your coach, and if your coach doesn't know, you can just send us a text message or a Facebook message or something, and we'll let you know what you can get. We just can't broadcast it publicly because we don't want to ruin anyone's eligibility.
Sure. Well, it'd be a nice opportunity to gather and celebrate. It was, some nice accomplishments, good season, also building for the future. So it should be a nice night on
Yeah, and I
Tuesday.
think this is going to turn into a yearly thing.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. And thanks to our friends at Hometown Hangout for hosting us on Tuesday evening and then helping drive that program all season long. When I got the message yesterday afternoon that Tyrese Halliburton was ruled eligible for last night's game, I thought, well, maybe the Pacers will manage to force a Game 7. And they did. They won on their home floor, and now we'll go to Oklahoma City, where on Sunday evening, Game 7 will settle it all. There's not much more exciting than a Game 7 in most any series, whether it's baseball or whether it's the NBA. You think the Thunder will do it on their home floor, Sam?
You'd think. I have no idea, though.
It's hard to say. It makes for a better celebration if you can win on your home floor. But then the news yesterday afternoon was I don't say that I'm shocked, but I guess I didn't know that the Buss family was that close to parting with the Lakers. Their decision to sell a controlling stake in the LA Lakers at an eye-popping franchise valuation of $10 billion marks the end of nearly a half century when one of the most valuable properties in sports world was run by an understatement to say an eccentric father and his sometimes squabbling children. There have been two different shows about this. One that's kind of a documentary like Showtime that was more of a long-form drama series. But then there's a comedy series starring Kate Hudson, Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson. And it's more of a comedy about the daughter operating this sports franchise. So it's kind of a satire of the Lakers, if you will. But $10 billion is not chump change, and it's a nice little return on investment. They bought the franchise for $67.5 million, which was eye-popping at that time. And half century later, $10 billion. But this is on par with selling the Dallas Cowboys, selling the New York Yankees, and the group buying it, the majority that's the controlling interest and owner in the Dodgers. So having two of the most iconic sports franchises, especially in the LA community, is significant.
Yeah, $10 billion. That's I can't wrap my brain around that.
It's kind of hard to understand.
I can't wrap my brain around that. And
Well,
clearly
I'll tell
he
you
can't either.
Hey, no, he definitely cannot. Well, I'll give you a moment to wrap your brains around all of that. When we come back, we're going to talk about Gen Z and how they have a little empathy for Gen X. We'll talk about that. We will also have tell you how ChatGPT is ruining our brains. We'll tell you about that. And we'll celebrate the first day of summer, what it means, why it's the first day of summer, and more. And then whatever Brady tells us to do, that's also what we're going to do next segment. Coming up here on In the Know.
Here it is, a groove slightly transformed. Just a bit of a break from the norm. Just a little something to break the monotony of all that hardcore dance that has gotten to be a little bit out of control. It's cool to dance, but what
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start August 18th. Visit kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Get ready for Kids Fest at Beach Bend Park all week long starting June 16th. It's non-stop fun with daily games, prizes, face painting, and more. Meet and greets with your favorite superheroes, princes and princesses, and a park favorite, Sammy the Squirrel. Experience daily mind-blowing magic of Dinky Gowan. Fun, thrills, and jaw-dropping illusions the whole family will love. Plus, don't miss DJ J Deuce spinning family-friendly hits on Saturday. It's the ultimate celebration for kids and families. Kids Fest at Beach Bend Park. Don't miss it.
Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a Future Designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMeister for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
OpenAI and the U.S. Department of Defense are announcing a partnership. Matt Mattinson has the details.
The research organization was granted a $200 million contract by the DoD. The agreement will have OpenAI identify and build prototype artificial intelligence systems for administrative tasks and more. Some of those tasks reportedly include helping military personnel get healthcare, data streamlining, and cyber defense. The DoD says most of the work with OpenAI will be done in Washington, D.C. and surrounding areas.
The head of Amazon says AI is going to shrink its workforce in the coming years. CEO Andy Jassy sent a memo to employees on Tuesday saying the increasing use of artificial intelligence will eliminate the need for certain jobs. Jassy wrote that Amazon employees should learn how to use AI tools and figure out how to get more done with scrappier teams. And though it's unclear when the official announcement will be made, CNBC is reporting that Meta appears poised to start making smart glasses with Italian high fashion designer Prada. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is the first day of summer here in the northern hemisphere, that is. I guess it's first day of winter if you're in South America. It's also known as the summer solstice. It's observed when the sun reaches its northernmost point in the sky. So summer is arriving at 9:42 p.m. Central Time. So we're still technically in spring, but the first full day of summer will be tomorrow, right on cue. The word solstice comes from the Latin words sun and stoppage. Makes sense. The sun stops moving north that day. We have the solstice is also when those in the northern hemisphere see the highest sun of the year, but it's getting lower over time because the Earth's tilt is still slowly decreasing. We will see the sun is lowest in the sky for those at the equator. Today, the sun rises farthest left on the horizon and sets at its rightmost possible spot. And so it's, I guess, the longest daylight day of the year, as opposed to the shortest daylight of the year, the winter solstice, which is typically around, December 20, something like that. Today is flip-flop day. Yep, celebrating. I'm not celebrating. I've got sneaks on today. Today is American Eagle Day. It's commemorating America's national symbol, the bald eagle. Thank goodness Ben Franklin didn't get his way. Who would want the turkey as a national emblem?
It is pretty good, though.
The turkey is good to eat, but we wouldn't be able to eat turkey because I guess it would be protected.
Oh,
So, but then would we be eating eagle? I hear they're kind of gamey. I don't know. Tomorrow is, somebody alert the Nutty Professor that tomorrow is Smurfs Day.
All right.
So Papa Smurf.
Is he a Smurf?
Smurfette, Gargamel to you. Which one, Sam?
Is he a Smurf?
He's a big Smurf fan.
Mm.
He liked the Smurfs. Peaches and Cream Day.
Ooh.
Tomorrow is Giraffe Day.
Oh, I love giraffes. They're my favorite.
You've got a couple of giraffe items in your office.
I do.
Tomorrow is World Music Day. And then a Sunday is HVAC Technician Day. I hope you don't need one on Sunday, but if you need one on Sunday and you have to call one, you might want to celebrate them a little bit and just say, gosh, you all do such fine work and you're much appreciated, etc.
Yeah, when you need them, you need them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, it can get hot in a hurry. I saw a list of things this morning where something frequently comes up and we think, wow, when I was a kid, the way we did things, like I heard Speedy, Calvin Wilbur talking yesterday about sitting on the armrest in front of between his parents riding down the vehicle. I certainly did that. We just go barreling down the highway and standing in between your parents and well, what could happen? What could go wrong? So Gen Zers are learning now that they're getting older and they actually scrutinize and look at the way that we Gen Xers were raised. And in ways they say that they're the saddest childhoods. Well, perhaps compared to modern standards, but we didn't think that it was sad at the time. And probably in ways still don't find it to be sad. But the number one thing that Gen Z thinks is sad about Gen Xers is that they had no internet.
Well,
it was fun watching it come about. It has been fun. It has been fun growing through from the analog world into the digital world because I appreciate the difference and understand. Two, cartoons were once a week events, not on demand. There was no Cartoon Network when we were growing up.
No.
And Saturday morning cartoons was the only piece of the landscape that was dedicated.
You didn't have Disney
toward
Plus?
Kids. Didn't have Disney Plus subscription yet. We had 4 channels, including one PBS channel. So we had the 3 networks and then one, and you had to turn the antenna if you wanted to get different stations. So no cartoons. That's what you looked forward to on Saturday morning. Wake up, watch cartoons. That was our exposure to cartoons then. But you got so many good ones. I mean, you got obviously the Warner Brothers, the Looney Tunes is what anchored it, but others came along too. You had the Flintstones, you had all kinds of good ones. And then Pee-wee's Playhouse came along too.
I came really close yesterday to turning on Tom and Jerry for him.
Oh yeah, Tom and Jerry. Those are so physical too. Everyone knew about Stranger Danger, but no one seemed to care.
It's the truth.
We knew it was a thing, but we didn't really seem to be bothered by it.
It's the truth.
Number 4, seatbelts were optional or sometimes just didn't exist. Oh yeah, because those chrome-colored ones in the summertime, you figured out how to bury them under the seat, or you were going to scald your legs every time you got in the car. They have figured out a way, I guess, apparently, to not make seatbelts so hot when you sit on them. But man, as a kid, if you got one of those in the back of the thigh, you knew it in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Every photograph was a gamble. Kids,
you had no idea.
In 1982 or 83, you took a photo and you thought, well, I hope it turns out. I guess we'll find out in about 2 weeks.
Dear York.
Yeah, I mean, you had to take the film out. One, you had to wait until you go all the way to the end of the roll, and then you have to take it out of the camera and take it to, in our case, the drugstore, and they would mail it off. And in a couple of weeks, you would go back to the drugstore and you would pick up your prints and you would go through them and go, oh, their eyes were closed.
Right.
Red eye.
Or double exposure. Yes, and red eye. And it was a gamble. Gym class was like a survival game. It was the survivor of our era, surviving gym class. It was rough. We were raised with tough love. Gen Z finds that to be sad. We had incredible music, but listening to it was work. Friends, we had to haul a boombox around on our shoulder if we wanted loud music. And then if you wanted even personal music, the Walkmans weren't light originally.
No.
I mean, they had magnets in them, they had motors in them to turn the cassettes, etc. So it was, you think about how much sound, right, your iPhone produces now, and you think about the things that you used to have to carry around in order to be entertained. Our toys were dangerous.
Yeah.
If
Like
you've
the
ever seen
rocking
a set of
horse?
Rocking horse is one, but lawn darts are the one that I always think of. Whoever thought lawn darts was a good idea?
I don't, yeah, I agree with that, but Sam, we must have had the same experience. Listen, the insides of the legs.
Oh yeah, those things. Yeah.
Oh, rough.
Calling a friend meant risking an awkward conversation with their parents. In the old days, kids didn't answer the phone. Now, I think we did quite a bit, but it was
We
not
did,
uncommon
yeah.
when you called someone's house. You got the parent, and then you had to ask for permission. First, you had to ask, are they home? Well, now you know your friends are home because you've got them on Life 360
Yeah.
or something equivalent, and you just go straight to them. You can, and nobody's got a phone hanging on the wall anyway.
It depended on whose house I was at, which grandparents' house. I could answer at one place, and the other I could not.
Did you answer ahoy?
No.
I still wish we all answered ahoy. That would be so much better than hello. Yeah. Oh, there's the dangerous toys again. I was thinking of some others. Listen, there's skateboards. Easy bake ovens could be dangerous if you didn't really know what you were doing. Number 11, we were raised by boomers. That's the saddest part, they say. Society was critical of Gen Xer cynicism. We are a cynical generation, I've observed. Millennials are criticized for being too lazy. Gen Z is criticized for being overly sensitive. Boomers get the blame for everything, like everything that's downstream of that. But then you can't turn around and blame the greatest generation, right? Because they're called the greatest generation. You can't do that. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting study at being raised in the Gen X era.
Now, is Brady Gen Z or what is he?
He's going to be Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha? Okay, that's what's
Yeah,
next. Okay.
He'll be Gen Alpha.
Okay.
Because this will be the group. So the Gen Zers now are, so I think technically, Alea will fall into a Gen Zer, but then there's a next where it gives way to the next period. But I think Alpha is on the horizon. If they survive, because they'll all be using ChatGPT, and a new study finds that there are some scary results about users' brain activity levels. They studied 3 different demographic groups, people ages 18 to 39, and they split them into 3 different groups and asked them to write numerous SAT essays over a 4-month period. Of all 3 groups, ChatGPT users were found to display the lowest level of brain engagement and consistently underperformed at neural, linguistic, and behavioral levels. So some people had no ChatGPT, some had some, and some were very reliant upon it, and it is making us dumber.
I mean,
See-
I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised,
I
because
think
it will cause our brains to atrophy.
Yeah.
See, I think in a lot of ways it and I don't know if it's just the way I use it, but it'll sometimes, like if you are dealing with a situation or something and you can talk it through with it and say, okay, now let's Like it can ask you questions and so on and really make you think about things in different ways, which I enjoy.
I do believe that as it gets better and gets a little bit smarter, it will get more dialogue based, where it will be even better at what you're suggesting. And so it can challenge you. It can turn into a conversational, this person is using a whole wealth of knowledge over here to carry on a conversation that's helping you learn and expand ideas, et cetera. So I can see where it is, but right now we're being reliant upon it similar in a way that too many young people don't know how to navigate using a map.
I agree. But so like in Sam's case, I know that Sam, one, is using it to learn. Like he is not using it to get out of doing thing on his own, or he's using it the right way. And I think used the right way, it is beneficial. But in others, I mean, we all know people that are not, they're going to use it.
Well, and it's helpful sometimes if you're trying to write something and, sometimes you just write a sentence or a paragraph and it just, like, what you're trying to say and it's just not, it's just not working. And it's sometimes helpful to throw it in there and it might pop out a couple of different examples and you're like, yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say, kind of thing.
So in all of your all's work tools, you all being our company,
Gemini,
I know for a fact that you have access now, and suddenly mine's doing it on its own. But I'm getting tickled at the summaries of emails. I receive an email, and then Gemini is giving me a summary of what happens in there, and I find it intriguing to see how they're summarizing what I'm receiving, but I really enjoy it summarizing what I wrote, like what my portion of the email conversation was.
And it now has the AI responses too that you can do, which I know you sent me one. It was just very I think it was like, "Hi Sam, thank you very much for the message. Sincerely, Mark," or something. It was just, I was like, that doesn't sound like you.
I don't communicate with you like that.
Yeah, no, it was just very and I don't remember if I had asked you and you admitted to using that, or I think I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, well, it's incorporating it into things I'm using it for things like if I needed to know an airport code, well, I would learn that because it told me what an airport code is, but I would go, okay, now I know that. I know a lot of those, but there are lots that I don't. So I use it for for that. But like you, it's a learning endeavor because I won't have to ask it again what that code was if I need to know that. So just got to use it for when it's good and don't when it's bad. And so anyway, maybe it won't make us completely dumb. And brown-eyed trust. Your eye color influences how much people trust you. Researchers found that people tend to rank brown-eyed people more trustworthy than others.
That's interesting.
She says with disdain.
It has to be because of the doe-eyed look or something. That has to be it.
Doe-eyed. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got today's water cooler question. Your chance to win. Coming up here on In the Know.
Tell me more, did you get very far?
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 30 to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works. Call 1-800-206-6755. 1-800-206-6755. 1-800-206-6755. Consolidated Credit Counseling Services, Inc., 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM 1492, Oregon DM 80092. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC 83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action, not a loan company.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment. The amount of life insurance coverage that you may qualify for or apply for is subject to medical and financial underwriting by Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company in Jackson, Mississippi.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
My name is Kama McKinney, and I serve as the Executive Director of Chrysalis House. Far too many Kentuckians are struggling with addiction without knowing what resources are available to them. If you or a loved one are in need of a treatment center like Chrysalis House, you can call the KY Help call center at 833-8KY-HELP or visit findhelpnowky.org to find resources that are available near you. We are here, we care, and we want to help.
This is a message from Team Kentucky, sponsored by the Office of Drug Control Policy and aired by this station.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather will be sunny and warmer today with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Once we head into tonight, we'll see clear skies across the region, lows down into the upper 60s and the low 70s. For the weekend, we'll see those highs in the low to mid 90s with the heat index approaching 100 degrees. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Don't miss the hottest songs in the country, American Top 40 this weekend. We check in with Mariah Carey and hear all about her new single. And Doechii is unstoppable with her viral track Anxiety. It all happens this weekend on American Top 40.
Did you know scientists say that summer babies are significantly more likely to suffer from mood swings than those born in other seasons?
Okay, so
what you're trying to figure out is we're a month apart, so you're trying to figure out if I would be more prone to be more moody than you because you're an August baby and I'm a July baby.
Well, I think I was actually trying to figure out our kids.
Well, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because
got March, April, June.
Right.
Right.
So really.
And then there's a May in the floor there next to you. So, guess he would be the latest of the children. Here's today's water cooler question: if you or your household have not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win. You're going to text your answer to 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000 is we're going to text your answer. Today we are giving away 4 beach bin tickets.
Whoa.
4 beach bin tickets today. But you must solve the water cooler question. By the way, Beach Bin would like me to let you know that they are reopening today. They had closed yesterday. They had some storm damage. And so they had to close prematurely yesterday, but they are reopening today. So just so you'll know, half of children who live in a city have never done this summer activity. Half of children who live in a city have never done this summer activity. What is it? 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. You nodded your head in the affirmative like something came to mind. So you got something automatically?
Yeah, something came to mind
Sam?
for me, too.
Something came to mind for you? Okay. Well, we will find out who can be victorious. The weekend movie premieres are out today. There is a chance that we will have a new number one. 28 Years Later is out today. That's not the one I'm talking about. That's Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes, and Aaron Taylor Johnson. It's an R-rated horror mystery. Likely to win the box office this weekend is Alio. Alio is a space fanatic with an active imagination, finds himself on a cosmic misadventure where he must form new bonds with alien life forms, navigate a crisis of intergalactic proportions, and somehow discover who he is truly meant to be. Zoe Saldana and Jonas Kibereb. And this is a Disney. Is this Pixar?
This is Pixar, yeah.
I think it is. It's Pixar.
It came up yesterday, but I didn't watch the trailer.
My friend Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his wife took their kids to see it in a special preview earlier this week. They seem to say it was really good. You know, Dale Jr. and I, good close friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had a nice conversation before. I think we took to one another, so I'd say we're fine. I consider him a friend. I mean, he might not consider me, but I consider him. Brideheart is out today. So this is the return of Rebel Wilson. It's Rebel Wilson and Anna Camp reuniting after their Pitch Perfect activities. And so they are back on the big screen today. They said that it's Bridesmaids meets Die Hard.
Well, I was going to try to watch that trailer, but I don't know what happened.
I think I know what happened, that you didn't get to watch the trailer.
But because I saw it and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, Rebel Wilson says this is as close she's going to get to being in, like John Wick. She says she's not really an action person, but this is...
That's a weird combination.
And Die Hard. Of the two movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a weird mashup.
Of Die Hard and Bridesmaids?
Yeah, but, and I had forgotten, she's in Bridesmaids. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of her early roles. She's in Bridesmaids. She is Kristen Wiig's sister or
roommate.
Before
roommate. She gets kicked out.
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
So she doesn't have a big role, but she has a role in Bridesmaids.
Yes.
So she's actually in it because I thought, well, that's kind of what does she know about Bridesmaids? Well, she does know about Bridesmaids because she had a small role in it. So hopefully it does well at the box office, but it's going to be hard to beat Disney. Certainly going to be hard to beat a Pixar movie at the box office this week. So, all right, we'll figure out who wins the water cooler question. We have a point to ponder today. Going to be talking about sounds of summer, and we will have chart toppers and Pearl of Wisdom all ahead here on In the Know.
We compare ourselves to other people because we believe that they have something we don't. But that perception is exactly what makes comparing ourselves to other people such a bad idea. Author Angela Mills discovered the danger of comparison the night she and her husband went out to dinner with friends. Her friend's husband was highly affectionate with his wife, kissing her, hugging her, and caressing her shoulder all night. They looked like newlyweds, even though they'd been married for many years. As the evening went on, the situation bothered Angela more and more. Compared to her friend's relationship, Angela's marriage appeared to be lacking. When Angela later confided in her friend about how jealous she felt, her friend explained to her why her husband had been so affectionate. He had just admitted that he had been cheating on her and he was trying to win her favor back. Not only had comparison come between Angela and her husband, but it also closed her off to the pain her friend was suffering. Angela was so caught up in her own emotions that weren't even accurate, that she wasn't present and tuned in to her friend in need. Measuring our real lives against what we see from others on the surface is dangerous. It distorts our ability to see what's real. To avoid the comparison trap, keep your eyes wide open to the fact that things aren't always the way they seem. For more to help you thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
What
words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Get ready for Kids Fest at Beach Bend Park all week long starting June 16th. It's nonstop fun with daily games, prizes, face painting, and more. Meet and greets with your favorite superheroes, princes and princesses, and a park favorite, Sammy the Squirrel. Experience daily mind-blowing magic of Dinky Gowan. Fun, thrills, and jaw-dropping illusions the whole family will love. Plus, don't miss DJ J Deuce spinning family-friendly hits on Saturday. It's the ultimate celebration for kids and families. Kids Fest at Beach Bend Park. Don't miss it.
Midway Pharmacy doesn't have the largest selection of perfume, and that's likely because they spend more time making sure you're healthy and less time making sure you smell pretty. At Midway Pharmacy, you're getting more than a pharmacy. You're getting a pharmacist who's committed to working with you on all things health-related. Experience what matters the most when you visit any county-wide location of Midway Pharmacy.
I got my first real six string, bought it at the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled, was the summer of 69, me and some guys from
MB's point of ponder for today. What sound exemplifies summer to you? What sound exemplifies summer to you?
Crack of a baseball bat.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
that's a good one. Like at home? Frogs, maybe?
Frogs. Me, it's the splashing of water. Like somebody jumps into a pool of water and it makes that splashing sound. That's a very summery sound to me.
Yeah.
The sunscreen spray.
Well, that is, yeah, that
Mhm.
that can, which I've taken to that. I don't like the rub on anymore. I like the spray on better.
I don't like the spray on.
If we were away from it, I would have said water, but
Yeah.
at home.
But there's also something maybe someone can help with. There is some type of creature. I don't think it's a bird, or my bird app would identify it, but some type of creature that is around our house that's driving Miss Buckles crazy.
I can't, yeah.
But you described it as what? The sound the Goonies make?
No.
The sound what makes whenever
on.
they pour water on them?
Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Yes, you know, when the gremlins at night, when they get, yes, wait, when you pour water on them, the mean gremlins.
The mean gremlins, when you pour water on them, they
Yes.
make a sound. And there's, well, could it be gremlins that we have in our
Maybe,
woods?
but somebody needs to come and get them.
Okay, so if you know what that is, I can't make the sound,
Me
but
either.
I can't.
I'll practice it for Monday.
Record it and
Yeah,
play it on
we
the
can
show next time. And
I may
then
have it in my bird app because it keeps the recordings, but it won't identify it. So that's why I'm thinking it's not aviary in nature.
Yeah. I
Is it
don't know what
Bigfoot?
this thing is.
It probably not Bigfoot,
If it
but
I mean, you
we
could-
do have a raccoon that has big feet right now, apparently.
Yes.
you can call Jason Thomas. Isn't Jason Thomas a big Bigfooter?
He is a Bigfoot expert, without a doubt. And before I forget, what was that Tickle Me Elmo that you were running around with yesterday that was so loud, making all those noises?
And you know, it did not surface. It has not surfaced yet.
It hasn't.
No, for
Is it likely to end up at Taylor's house?
No,
That's gonna be
it's
one we're gonna
likely
keep?
to
Okay.
end up at Vandalee Industries.
It's kind of cute for a while.
Yes.
You know,
And then
the water cooler question for today was: half of children who live in a city have never done this summer activity before. What came to mind?
jump in a puddle.
Jump in a puddle. Sam?
Swim.
Swim.
Oh.
The correct answer is roast a marshmallow. Roasted a marshmallow, which you can do that in summer, but we would be more likely to do that in the fall here
Yeah.
in these parts. And I don't like roasted marshmallows, but But it just seemed odd to me that it was a summer activity. But I know we had multiple people. We had lots of guesses, lots of varying guesses. Camping was one, etc. That's just one of several. But Sam, how many did we have that figured out marshmallows?
Looks like 5.
Wow.
5. I'll go with number 2.
Number 2. It is 7328.
Congratulations to 7328. On TV tonight, Gold Rush Whitewater is on Discovery Channel. Grammy Greats is on CBS. The Unexplained on History Channel. Tomorrow is the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards 2025. Sunday tomorrow night is the rerun of the John Hamm episode of SNL from this last season. The NBA Finals, Indiana, Oklahoma, Game 7 out in Oklahoma on Sunday evening. The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2 finale is on AMC. And the return of Season 3 premiere of The Gilded Age on HBO. I like that, so I'll be...
I know what's going to be here. Look.
He knows. Today's highlight in history. This date, 1967, boxer Muhammad Ali was convicted in Houston of violating selective service laws by refusing to be drafted. The Continental Congress approved the Great Seal of the United States, featuring the emblem of the bald eagle, this date in 1782. Birthdays today, singer Anne Murray is 80. Bob Vila is 79. Lionel Richie is 76. John Goodman is 73. Michael Anthony from Van Halen is 71. John Taylor from Duran Duran is 65. Nicole Kidman is 58. And actor Josh Lucas is 54. Now listen to this Gone But Not Forgotten list. I don't know what it is about June 20th, but that was a healthy celebrity birthday list. Here's a healthy Gone But Not Forgotten list. Robert Trent Jones in 1906. Errol Flynn in 1909. Chet Atkins in 1924. Audie Murphy in 1924. Martin Landau in 1928. Olympia Dukakis in 1931. Danny Aiello in 1933. John Mahoney in 1940. And Brian Wilson, who just passed last week, was born this date in 1942. Yes, sir. Hi. He can come over here. Take him for just a minute. All right, here we go. All right, stand right here. Sam, you got a good shot of him?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's do chart toppers for today. Oh, he's pushing me off.
He wants the buttons, Sam.
Well, I mean, that's not a surprise.
Right?
He is related to his granddad, right?
Sure. Well, he took one look at this board and he went, whoa, where did all of that come from? And so, yes, he is no stranger, and he certainly would be interested in having the buttons. Okay, let's go to 1952. Eddie Fisher, I'm yours.
You need a third hand for this.
He's such a ham, okay?
Yeah, we don't know where he gets that.
No, not at all.
All right, Granny, come get him. Well, I had him during the break earlier and decided that I can't drive and wrestle him either. So, 1961, Bobby Lewis, #1, tossing and turning. Tim, I forgot to tell you earlier, 2 streaks were snapped. The Reds finally lost. The Yankees finally won. I had to do a double check, like the Yankees actually won. Like it's not, you're not fooling me, that they truly did.
That's funny.
The 2 teams will meet early next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Love You Save, #1 in 70 from the Jackson 5. Sam, would you want to take a guess at what Brady's favorite toy is?
Something that has a lot of buttons, I would assume.
Yes, a remote control.
Yes.
He wants the remote control in his hand anytime he possibly can. 1979, Donna Summer, #1.
He just needs a little pair of headphones now, so he can listen to the show while he's doing it.
He was dancing to the bump music earlier. Grana is going to have her exercise in for today after wrestling I had a physician ask me not long ago, "You've been lifting weights?" I said, "Does a 30-pound grandson count?" No, then no.
Listen, my Fitbit app, it was probably smoking yesterday afternoon.
1988, Dirty Diana from Michael Jackson. MJ in 2 of the chart toppers today. All right, let's move forward a decade. Let's go to the 2000s. No, this is 97. Hanson. All right, now let's go to the 2000s. I think it's going to be like 2006. Kenny Chesney. The guy single-handedly propping up the puka shell industry, Kenny Chesney. Let's go to 2015. See you again.
About you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you.
If there's somewhere he doesn't need to be, that's where he will be. Yeah, he's fine back there.
Yeah,
From where
he's
we
coming back.
began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
All right, let's go forward one more. Let's get to, it was a year ago today.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is it that sweet like this soul? So you can sleep, baby, I know.
The song that made her a big star. Well, in music anyway. Sabrina Carpenter and Espresso. All right, MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today.
Good luck over there.
Well, we're getting ready to escape the room, so it'll be
He'll be free to
great.
fly and do whatever he
Yes.
wants.
Is Gertie going to be okay with that, though? I'm sure Gertie's probably enjoying maybe some of the quiet right now.
She's enjoying the peace and quiet. But Alea's getting ready to get busy.
Yes.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says a perfect summer day is when the sun is shining, the breeze is blowing, the birds are singing, and the lawnmower is broken. A perfect summer day is when the sun is shining, the breeze is blowing, the birds are singing, and the lawnmower is broken. Unfortunately, ours is not. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Brady James, for Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield. The Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.